Hello friends, welcome to RC Education. In this video, we are going to see about data types and some basic syntax for C. Now, first of all, we saw what are the data types present in C. Here, there are two data types, namely primitive data type and non-primitive data type. In primitive data type, there are some data types and non-primitive data types also having some data type. We all now see line by line. Now first integer data type. Integer means nothing. The value should present without any decimal values. For example, the value should represent 1, 2, 3 that like, not as 1.1, 1.2 that like should not be represented. For integer, it requires only 2 byte or 4 byte of memory depending upon the compiler. If you are using currently 32-bit processor, it requires only 2 byte of memory. If you are using currently 64 processor, it requires 4 byte of memory. So why memory plays important role means I will explain. For example, if you are using some apps, consider if you are using some apps. In apps there are different types of memory available. That for example, we take as any video editor. For example, one video editor contains of 160 MB that do same feature as another video editor consisting of only 50 MB. Which would you prefer to install? 160 MB video editor or at least 50 below 50 MB video editor? We should always prefer a low MB. So we are mainly looking or focusing on only memory concept also. So here in C programming, the memory is also very plays important role. So memory should be handled efficiently, and also data types should also be handled in proper way. In float means having some point values. For example, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 that like, it allocates 4 bytes of memory. In character means nothing but any statement, any letter given in single quotes. For example, it may be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, or that thing also character. Apart from that, if we give plus in single quotes, it also considered as an character, because character is nothing but whatever given in single quotes, that means character. In C, there is no special concept of string. If we want to, I will explain in further videos, because if I explain in same video, you will get lot of confusion. So I give just to overview and then explain in further videos. In character, C has not separate concept of string. If you want to store your name, for example, my name is Syed Arshad from Builders Engineering College. I want to store my name Syed Arshad and department Electronics and Communication Engineering and college Builders Engineering College. That like I want to store means, for example, take I am Syed name. I declaring a variable name. In that name, I am storing Syed Arshad. It is not possible in character. We should store in character array form. That I will explain later. So why I am explaining this is due to your understanding, there is no separate concept called string. So character is modified in another ways, and we have used as string. We will see it later videos. Just we see about data types now. Next is sort. In any compiler, sort has 2 byte of memory. It is an integer related data type, but memory allocation is very small. Why in integer means integer can store up to 10 decimal values or 8 decimal value depending upon the compiler. In short, it can store maximum up to 4 decimal values only long. Long is advanced, long is extendable character of int. If int can store 10, long can store 14, 16 depending upon the compiler. Double means, sorry, I have forgot one thing to say about float. If you are using float, if you are printing any value, the decimal point will occurs at the place. At the end of the decimal point, there are some, for example, if you are entering 5 and printing as a float value means the output will be 5.000000. In float, it takes 6 values after decimal point. In double, it takes 8, 16 depending upon the compiler. Next, we move on non-primitive data type. Primitive data type has some limitation. To overcome this, we use non-primitive data types. But without primitive data type, we can't use non-primitive data type. Understand clearly. Without using primitive data type, we can't move on non-primitive data type. So modified primitive data type is known as non-primitive data type. If I explain in further videos, you can understand clearly what is non-primitive data type. Just give the overview of that now. Now arrays. Arrays means nothing but storing collection of similar data types. It contains similar data types in square bracket. And pointers. Pointers means it stores the address of the variable. And structure means it contains dissimilar data types. In arrays, the only collection of data types, same collection of data types is allowed. So overcome this, we use structure. Union is also same, but memory management of structure and union differs. I will explain in later videos. Now let us see basic syntax. If I had mentioned a double slash, it means single command line. For multiple command line, I will tell in further videos. Single command line means in the program it will not execute, but if we are using this, we can understand or we can write what happens in the code here. For example, I written basic syntax. I can understand it is a basic syntax I have written here. So whatever you can write in the command line, that is no problem. Now, but it not gets executed. In below line, I have included standard input output library files, which means I had written has include stdio.h. Has include means it will include some files. Which files means I have mentioned standard input output, which means stdio.h, standard input output. I have mentioned to include input output library files. I will explain later what is has, what is include, that like. I just give now overview of that. So in int main I have printed subscribe. For example, if I run this, the output will be provided as subscribe. Whatever you give in double quotes, it will print automatically in the output side. Now we can run this. So output is printed. This is then basic syntax for C, following all the concept. In basic syntax, first we should include any header files. Next we should use int main or void main, that like. Now in recent compilers, int main does not require return 0. If we are using int, it must to use return 0, but in recent compiler it not require anything. So it is better to use int main and with return 0, or use a void main also. Void main. I will explain what is int, void, that like except in further videos. I will not. If I explain here, you will get confusion. So I will explain some problems. Then I will explain what is int return means. You can able to understand clearly. For example, if you are using int, please use return 0. because in some compiler return 0 should want to be added. Why? Because means I will tell in next video. If you are using void main means there is no need of using return 0. So we have learnt about what data types and basic syntax. In further video, we are planning to teach about variables and it rules and some programs and some small programs, and we are moving on operator topic, and further on moving lightly depending upon the time of period. So if you have any doubts or any difficulties in understanding or explaining whatever may be, you can comment it in the comment box. I will when I watch your comment, I will reply it soon. So thank you for watching. If the video is good, please like, share, comment and subscribe. Once again, thank you.